Yeah.
Trust me,
I hope I didn't bother too much.
I've been to Twitter. I've seen all of that shit. People are just whack. Like America.
Buttons aren't working. Fucking buttons aren't working. Oh my god! What a time for the stream deck to decide to go oopsie on us. Well, anyway, we're here now. We're here. It's the Shills. It's the Shills pub chat, and we're a few minutes late because old Ukraine update ran a little bit late. They were yakking away. God, it's like there was a fucking war on or something, isn't it? I don't know. But anyway, in the news this week, NASA shot an asteroid in the face with their DART project. That was cool to watch that. And obviously the deniers have gone full-grown nutsoid over that one. They didn't like that one a bit. But also in the news, in the same vein, DART, we had to say goodbye to Darth. James Earl Jones has retired. So he is no longer the voice of Darth Vader. It's now going to be an AI. In fact, well, say AI, I'm going to do it for them. But, apart from that, what else is happening? Oh, and interestingly enough, the people who came up with the software who's going to doing the AI for our new voice of Darth Vader, they're from Ukraine. Yeah, how about that?
Oh, surprise, surprise.
Now, also in the news this week, Flat Earth is still not yet dead, as we found out. As we found out yesterday on the show, where we had David Weiss live on the show. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out and go and check out the 3-hour after show that we had afterwards. It was hilarious.
I'll tell you what, that the show though, the main show, Mike Bertelson was an absolute class act. That geezer was unshakable, in control, knew what he wanted to say, bang on, right? Banging show, absolutely banging. And yes, there's still absolute idiocy. People that are so fucking stupid that they can't even revive the zombified brain cell that they actually share amongst themselves just to fucking make a sandwich. They are fucking stupid.
And also in the news this week, before we crack into it, Florida is seemed to be experiencing some extreme drizzle. So everyone get your brollies out for in Florida. So sorry about that, but anyway, we have Dick Dawson's arrived. Hurrah! We're saved. No,
sorry. Not. Wait a minute. Yes, I am here. How's it going? I'm That goddamn mute button. I'm usually first in. Fuck, I'm still not used to that. I don't know if I'll ever switch my head after 3 years of being first into the meets. Fuck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey,
But how's it going?
Don't worry. You missed it. You missed a treat. My stream deck decided not to work at all, and so I had to like manually click buttons all over the place to make this thing happen. So, but we're here. We're happy,
dude. The newest version of the Stream Deck plugin that goes between OBS and Stream Deck is so fucked up that half the time I open OBS, Stream Deck can't do anything, and I have to quit Stream Deck software, restart it, and then it works. It happens almost every show now.
Well, my Stream Deck offered me a software update, and I thought, no, I'm not doing that yet. I'll do that another time. But well, never mind.
Wish I had. Fuck. But anyway.
So here we are, everybody. Would you want to say hi to everybody? We have Commander 401 in the house. Want to say hi?
Hi, everybody. I was afraid Dick wasn't going to be here and that the show was going to have to go dickless again.
Cock and balls present, baby.
I could press the button, but that's not going to work, is it? There you go. See, I told you it wouldn't work. And quit
Stream Deck software and relaunch it. That's what fixes it.
Oh, okay. I'll do that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, well, I tell you what. While I'm doing that, you say hi to everybody. You get the folks in and say hi.
Well, hello. What shall we talk about today? I don't know. I'm so unprepared because I just had to quickly do something there, and I was about to fill a pipe and feel good about myself. Filling a pipe's a good thing, let me tell you. Should we do a pirate routine? Did everybody practice? Do you know your lines? No. Hey, Bill.
You're right, Dick. You seem a little bit fucking spangled there, mate.
I'm a little flustered right now. Yeah, I'm not in my usual mode because I had just run across the street, run back, run upstairs. Neighbor knocked at the door, took care of that, sat down quick, and now I barely even know what I'm doing.
Well, I know what I'm doing. I mean, I thought I'd pop in for a quick couple of pints on the old PubChat. Can't stop for long because, well, you know, I've got a date with an ice cream, a baseball bat, and a pair of pajamas. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, pair of pajamas, couple of beers, nice evening to end with. That's a good thing, man. I don't mind that at all.
And work early.
Yeah. The news over Florida with the hurricane and all. There's this one guy on YouTube, Cletus McFarland. He plays a redneck, but he's not. And they do like building drag racing cars. They bought an oval racetrack, the whole bit. It's pretty crazy. And the poor dude, Hurricane Ian, yeah, that's it. The poor dude had this huge building without walls and, with a big roof to park all of their stuff underneath. And like 5 of his cars just got crushed by this whole thing collapsing. But all in, it could have been a lot worse for him. I mean, the guy owns his own racetrack. And only thing that happened at the racetrack was one set of bleachers. And that was it. Oh, are we dark? Oh, we're back.
It's my fault. What
the fuck are you doing?
I tell you what, I'll put it in studio mode so when I'm fucking around in the background, can't get the stream deck to work. It's going to be a restart.
There's a whole bunch of drunken stoned people in the fucking live chat right now just going, what happened, man?
Welcome to the Shills. See, we like surprises. There you go. That was a surprise. Let me see. Where's the gag? So I can do a gag from here. This is on. Well, it came on, but no music. Oh God, man without his stream deck is bollocks. So we're just going to chat tonight. No gags, nothing in behind the scenes. So no more, another failure.
Yeah, stream deck's jerking off in the corner, so we're left to our own devices. What are you going to do?
Oh, I can do that.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, I heard half of it. There it is. Ah, Windows, it's okay.
Yeah, this is me at the minute.
Yeah. Are you triggering
Windows.
those manually with the mouse?
Yes.
Better than nothing.
Oh, that's what she said.
One day,
Go, Commander.
one day they are going to realize something. Just stop with the fucking updates, because now my 20 Audio Technica 2020 USB mic, now with the latest updates from Microsoft, it does not recognize it as what the kit is. It's now just a generic microphone, even though I'm using it. And every time they update, they just fuck everything up. When will they fucking learn?
Probably never. It's a multi-billion-dollar corporation. You're expecting too much from them.
Yeah. But
We're
there's
expecting something that works?
but there is something to be said in this, because if you go back to the day of the early 8-bit microcomputers, you either got the code right and embedded it in the ROM, or you shipped a machine with glitchy code. Now, that was a lot more simpler code than now, so I get it. But this whole oops, we'll just fix it in an update mentality has got to go.
My G, we're just gonna fix it in post.
Yeah.
Drop the movie now. We're fix it in post.
Yeah, this Stream
Like
Deck,
X-Men movie.
its one job is to communicate with things like OBS. And when it can't do that, it's literally just a hunk of plastic that looks pretty sitting in the corner. Like, you can't, if you choke on the core functionality, you know, what's the fucking point? I don't care about the bells and whistles. Just make the fucking thing work. You know, Jesus.
Yeah, just people got lazy.
Yeah. All right. Charlie's going to join us in a minute. That's cool.
Did
Yeah.
anyone see that video that Kyle Hill put out where this nuclear medicine device was irradiating people because of glitchy code? And they actually let it go, and it kept on glitching because they programmed it basically as if the system was a closed loop system, but it wasn't. And it was so riddled with errors that the text would constantly get error messages, so much so that they just ignored them and went on killing people.
No, I
Dear
didn't see
God.
it. Didn't see it. What happened in it?
Eventually the machines were taken out of circulation. Basically, it was something where they put a particle accelerator inside a hospital machine, and there were
What?
these filters that were supposed to be put into place to limit the dose, but sometimes they didn't go into position, so people were getting tens of thousands, the equivalent of tens of thousands of Rankins to whatever part of the body was shot. And there was a filter to stop the particle, because these were electrons, but somehow the filters didn't work, and people would get huge zaps of high energy electrons and then die months later when the giant hole in their body just grew and grew and grew. And it was all because of shitty code.
Now, hands
Wow.
up, anybody on this panel who wouldn't be able to help themselves if they got hold of a particle accelerator. They'll be dropping shit in it and firing it off all over the place. Let's see what sweet corn does at high acceleration.
You just said,
Oh,
you just took the words out of my mouth. I would drop shit in it.
Oh, you know what you could do with a machine like that? Most topaz actually has no color whatsoever, but you could irradiate the topaz. That's basically the sky blue topaz. They use a cobalt 60 source, I believe. That's the isotope for the deep London or electric blue. But they radiate gemstones. And since it's gamma rays or X-rays, that they use. The stones aren't radioactive, once the treatment is done. But very few, if any, topaz are actually naturally blue. And they basically, in order to be naturally blue, they need to be in some rocks very close to high concentrations of uranium or radium. I taught myself how to cut gemstones. I bought a faceting machine back in 2006 because I was like a tool and die maker, and tool and die makers can do anything. So I bought a faceting machine, taught myself how to cut the stones, and I learned a lot about all the different gemstones.
I had
Sounds like
a
a fun
buddy.
pastime.
Well, I had a buddy, Commander, who used to call himself a rock hound, and he used to go all out through the hills and whatnot, looking for cool rocks and, minerals and whatnot, and, things that could make money and all that kind of stuff. And he had the polisher and all kinds of tools and stuff. And sure as shit, he made money at it, and it boggled my mind. He would have literally just rocks in a bag, and a week later they would all be sold to people for like good money. And I was like, wow. And he was like, well, that's because this is this rock and this is this rock. I'm like, no idea, dude. I'm not a geologist. I got nothing.
Just get a sack of gravel for $1 and then run it through the polisher and then sell it for pounds.
Yeah.
I'm less the business person than I am the just say gemstone cutter. The Shills have seen some of the stones that I cut. I have 2 tanzanites, which are over 3 carats. One of them I paid about $400 for the rough, and it appraised for about $2,700. And then one of them, which actually came out of the ground, a fairly deep blue purple color, it had a crack in it, and it was 3.1 carats versus almost the other one, which was almost 4 carats. But because it was so rare, because it had natural color, it appraised for like $2,100. But I just don't have the personal skills to actually sell those things or the market.
401, this is what I was just about to say, because Mr. Monkey, are you there? You have experience in selling gems, do you not?
Yes, I did. I did sell gems. I knew he was going to pull me in.
Yeah, man, you know me.
Polishing turds every day.
Yeah, I polished. They are right fucking gems. They are right fucking gems. There's a number of ways you can sell it. I mean, depends. Like if you just want to get rid of it, or whether you want to get as much as you can for it, because that could be two different numbers.
Two very different things.
So what we're looking at? Give me the figures again. So the carrot is what? Sorry.
Oh no, this was like previous stuff, but yeah.
Well, I do have them. They're actually.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
car.
Sorry.
I still have them.
Yeah.
I think one is like 3.7 carats, and that I have to find I have to find pictures of them. They're actually like in the green room or the Shills.
Are they?
It's hold on. You're both Shills, so it's not like you can't get in touch.
No, well, we are in touch anyway, aren't we, Commander? I forget what I was going to say now.
They're both over 3 carats.
How are they cut? Have they been cut, or are they the raw shape?
The 3.7 carat one, if I remember the weight correctly, because I cut that one in 2017, is a light it's a light emerald cut, and then the other one is an light emerald
cut. Yeah.
And then the other one is small. It's a light emerald cut, but because of a crack in it, I had to like modify the crown to be more like a brilliant cut. But it was kind of like a would be classified as fancy.
Yeah. But like the cut of the stone is a emerald cut. So it's like almost like a rectangular shape. Am I correct?
Yes, it's a rectangular shape.
Yeah.
Both of
So
them.
it's an emerald cut. Yeah. Okay. And they're both cut the same cut, emerald cut.
Well, no, because the one of them, it had a crack that prevented a classic emerald cut. That's the one that's a natural blue tanzanite. For those who don't know, tanzanite is usually brown, but this was sold to me by Tam Schneiders as a natural color stone versus the other one, which was sold by T.M. Schneiders as a heat-treated stone.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Can I interrupt you guys for a minute? We got M2M who's just turned up. Say hi to Matt. Hello, Matt.
Yes, Matt.
Hello.
Geezer.
Hello. And yeah, Dick, I see and hear everything. Be afraid. Be very afraid. I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
I was about to call you our resident cyborg, and he proves it before I even say it. Monitoring the airwaves of all your Wi-Fi is M2M.
No, Dick in Discord, he said,
yeah.
Just don't talk about M2M anymore. Yeah.
I put M2M is here, guys. Don't talk about him anymore. But it's the green room where we all have access, right? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
You know?
I see you in your sleep. I know where you live.
Yeah. It would, those kind of things I do in the background. If somebody didn't know us, they might go, well, that's a bit of a jerk thing to do, but that's me, man. Yeah. I don't know how else to communicate.
Yeah, we all know you now. We all know you. Yeah. Do you know what? I'm actually really depressed. I think I might go and do something and commit suicide or something. Artemis 1's not launching until November now.
I know.
Bastards.
Just like that firecracker and go.
Yeah.
We need the Judean People's Front crack suicide squad to just take us all out.
Yeah. I'm really depressed now.
Hey, you got Dart. Dart was fun.
Yeah, Dart was. Yeah, but
NASA shot the fucking asteroid right in the face.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Slap right in the smacker. Yeah,
that was pretty fun.
Yeah, but that's over. It's done with. We're not going to get the results for that for a couple of months now, are we? So
months.
Yeah, about 2 months. They're going to find out whether it's done anything.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Why? I don't know. I don't really know the ins and outs of something. What do I know? I just like rockets.
What's your assumptions?
He just likes big phallic things.
I don't know that. I mean, like if you saw the I don't know, it's something that tracked it, wasn't it? And they saw it actually hit the asteroid, and you see this massive like plume come off it. So you kind of like, it's hard to imagine that it hasn't had some effect on it, because I mean that thing was going at something like 14,000 miles per hour, and it's like wallop. I mean, that asteroid's only about 80 meters wide, give or take, and we don't know how dense it is, but I mean, that was a hell of a wallop, though, wasn't it? I mean, that's got to be a massive amount of kinetic energy. And if you think about something that's more solid and going even faster still and bigger, you imagine.
See, the thing is, I've got a very serious question. They say that the thing that hit the asteroid was the size of a vending machine.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think was in that vending machine? Do you think it was crisps or chocolate?
Well,
was it Japanese? It was full of knickers.
Well, chocolate's more dense than chips. Something dense and a little bit more than maybe some hard gums or something. I don't know.
Ugly German True says condoms.
Condoms. Yeah.
It would just bounce off, wouldn't it? That was rubbish.
Yeah, ding.
I think it might only have like a minor off course sort of deviation.
Well, it doesn't have to be much, does it?
Extreme.
Well, I mean, if you think about the vast distances involved before, if you're talking about, tens of millions of miles away, the time it's going to hit Earth, I mean, just even a slight little tap, like a little tickle, like a tiny portion of a degree, and you multiply that up, it could miss Earth completely.
True.
So wouldn't need much, to be honest with it. So that I mean they've always speculated, and kinetic energy was always going to be the one that they thought would probably most likely work, because a nuclear missile is not going to work. It's not going to do anything.
Hey, Dick, you got to highlight the chat from our resident expert. The footage of Dart. Oh, PJC there. The footage of Dart was utterly ridiculous. Come on, man.
He said that yesterday, didn't he? Well, I don't know if you know, but they've also released one that's kind of like, the first one, the live one they actually shot, and it was only sort of like 1 frame per second or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, they've shown the other
one.
Well,
they filled in the frames a little bit.
Yeah, but when you calculate the speed of approach and the frames per second of the camera, you get flat earthers going, well, why is it jumping like that? Like, it's so ridiculous. Yeah. But that's reality.
Yeah,
it's moving, man.
Not to mention the speed of transmission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's that as well. Yeah, I mean that's part of the problem. They couldn't. It was difficulty. Transmitting that live, you're not going to get high frame rate, are you?
That's the funny thing. That's the funny thing is if you gave them 60 frames a second HD footage or 4K live, they're going, CG, CG. No, but you show them the reality of the mission. They go, oh no, that's fake. That's rubbish.
That's not CG enough.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. The higher the quality, the more likely it's going to be CGI. The lower the quality, it's bullshit and it's models. So you need a balance somewhere in between. But they're still going to say it's CGI regardless anyway, or green screen, or models, or something.
PJC.
That's why I kind of got tired of their ass.
PJC net says the frame rate wouldn't need to be that slow with today's tech. I'd expect 60 FPS 4K, considering what they claim to have on the moon in 1969. Well, okay.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
PJ,
they didn't have that on the moon.
Explain. Explain why. What do you know about transmissions of data? And you must be an expert on that. Because
I mean, they had poor frame rates and poor resolution from particularly Apollo 11 because they were sending it at 20 frames per second because they had to send it that way.
Yeah,
because the TV networks only worked on 20 frames per second. It was awful.
I mean, go back to the 90s, the late 90s for dial-up internet and watch a streamed video. It looked like hell. Video compression and data transmission was not exactly a fucking exact science in 69. I mean, they were just doing it analog, man. Fuck.
No, and in fact, no, I don't think it was even 20 frames. I think it was 10 frames.
10.
Yeah, 10
it was
frames.
Low.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what fucking pisses me off is the fact that we're even defending this technology when really we should be applauding it.
No, fuck it. PJ? I just laugh at people like him. That's not worth getting.
Oh, well, hold on. Yeah, but this is an opportunity. PJ, why don't you give me a shout behind the scenes? We've talked before, and we'll book you for one of those one-on-one chats that we're doing. And because you're not Mr. Math with all the answers that way. Well, hey, I'm not either. I left high school and went right to audio engineering school and blasted my brain out in rock and roll bands for a bunch of years. So how about you and I do that one-on-one chat? That would be cool.
I think my dog could take him on.
I'd love to see
but it's not about taking him on, though. It's just about him and I chatting about how he feels about things and how he sees it, and me too, right?
You obviously got stuff to say to each other because it's happening in chat, but you can sit and have a conversation.
PJ, PJC and I have had a lot. Yeah, well, dude, we've had a bunch of back and forths, and we have a mutual respect middle ground that we can converse on, and I think it would be great.
Right. Yeah. I mean, all intents and purposes, I think PG. I still think you're an idiot, but all things considered, I think you're a decent guy, and we can actually talk to you.
Yeah,
you can have a conversation. You know how to behave.
Well, every now and then,
flat for us, when we see people that think the Earth is flat, and honestly, I find it really, really difficult to grasp why on earth you think that. So I would have to go with Matt. I do think you're thinking that.
But hit me up, PJ. We'll work this out. It'd be fun, man. Come on. You know, it won't be anything bullshit hard hitting. You know, we'll drop the games and we'll just chat.
Yeah, but yeah, like one of those fireside chat things. You know, you could do that. Just the two.
Yeah,
of you
yeah,
chat
exactly.
away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I push him into the fire?
No, you've got to be
But
nice,
you know,
DKG.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but at the same token, so will I. Like, you know, I take things too far when I'm goofing around and we're making fun of people on the streams and stuff. But I'm talking like, you know, that gets put aside and we just chatter, right? You know,
Right.
I can do that.
I like how Matt says I've got to be nice. I'm not even nice to you.
No.
Why should I be nice to him?
That's true. That's true. Yeah, but I know with you, you're joking, but I don't know whether you're going to be joking with DKG or not. You probably would like to put him in the fire. I don't know.
Oh, Dick forgot he was in control of the pop-ups. Oh, look at you numpty.
Sorry, dude, I totally fucked that up. I was in the background and I was like, "Oh fuck, Jesus, I'm the one slacking." Oh no.
Well, it's usually me forgetting to press it. So I'm glad it's you.
But I want to call William Kirchmayer out in the chat there. I left high school and went to USN boot camp. Seen the world drunk by the age of 25. Good on you, William. Right on, man. Excellent.
Did you guys really
I
have
like that.
David Weiss on? Really?
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, we
And it, like,
oh my god.
yeah, and it was tototally funny. I could tell this now, I think, because you know, why not? Yeah, William, for sure, man. Respect. So I got a hold of him in the back.
Just a second there, Dick. Before you go on, Jack. I mean,
yeah.
Maybe you should subscribe to the channel, and then you'll see all this stuff. Go away, Dick.
But yeah,
there was.
And Jack, you got to check it out too, because it was against Mike Bertelson, the engineer who happens to design nuclear systems for U.S. naval submarines. Yes, I did not
David
stutter. I said that correct. Yeah,
David had no chance.
No, but poor Dave came in thinking the word jokers because our last few streams had nobody like Mike on them. And when we did cover Flat Earth, we did them in the point and laugh way. We didn't do it trying to debunk the claims.
And so then suddenly he got this guy to deal with.
Yes. And you know, Mike, I mean, he's the biggest hammer there is in Flat Earth. It's just not everybody knows him, but he is the best.
David.
Yeah, I mean, he came on the stream. Remember what he said was before the stream actually started. He said, what's your background? How many debates have you had? He's only had one proper debate, right? But then, so at least you know the basics. Then I was thinking, you don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
You don't know what's coming.
Yeah, and Mike was collegiate debate team at his university or whatever, like the whole bit, right? Like if you want to set down rules and call fallacies and whatnot, Mike will just eat you for breakfast, right?
Mike was an absolute world-class actor last night.
He was amazing, wasn't he? He was so good.
10 out of 10 for his performance last night.
Oh, and one thing people have been talking in the background in the shows and saying, "Oh, yeah," because we've essentially booked Austin Whitsick for next week, so that might be interesting. But people have been saying, "Oh, yeah, make sure we do, it's properly moderated. We have the full debate format." No, I don't. No, I think we throw away the debate format. The format for that show was perfect. I don't think we want to be going down the debate routes like a lot of people.
No, hold on. I'm not sure about that. I do believe that a real debate show would also have a place on this channel done properly. But I mean formal debates, but they would be very different from these one-on-one chats that we're doing as well. But I do believe that if we tried to promote both, most people would pick the one-on-one chat because it's a safer place to be. That's just how I see it, right?
Yeah. And we should say hello to Charlie Welch.
Hello to DK.
My second favorite Welch in the world.
All right, Charlie.
Damn you, Raquel.
I still say Charlie should change his last name online to Brown, but not change the avatar. Just the last name.
Charlie Brown.
It's worth thought.
Yeah, I could do so many good gags. And we got Charlie Brown in tonight. Oh my God.
He's always getting shit on though, but that'd be accurate.
No, but there's times when Charlie Brown triumphs big, and those moments are huge in those cartoons, right?
So change the subject back slightly. So is Witless actually confirmed for next week, or is he
Not yet?
He hasn't confirmed.
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm on it on emails in the background. I'm
No,
working on it big time, but so far not yet.
All right. So what's
require
this
payment?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Watch this space then.
Are
folks.
you?
Watch this space for next Wednesday. Likely
Yeah.
to be, is it? Wednesday.
No,
night.
Thursday
Oh,
again.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Night. Thursday again. Sorry. Yeah. Again, days mixed up. It's Friday. Cool. Jesus, it's Friday already. Fuck me.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday. You're on PubChat.
I know exactly. I don't know what's going on. I'm one day to the next. We're merging in together these days.
Is it Johan Jansen in the chat says, how many American presidents can say nuclear? I get called out because I say it the way that 70s North Americans used to back in the day, nuclear. And I get so much shit when I say that on the channel that I literally have practiced in the background to say nuclear. I see I got it wrong again, but it's because my parents are of that generation and that's what they said too.
Well, when you're throwing those fuckers around, I don't think grammar police is the thing you would be worrying about.
Yeah.
Nuclear. What does it matter?
Yeah, they're all ouchies.
Yeah.
Starsky can speak better than some U.S. presidents we've had recently. He has better English than the last U.S. president we had, and Starsky has better English than George Bush. So
Starsky actually fools you. His English isn't quite as good as you think. It's just his pronunciation. But tonight called him out a little bit. If anybody noticed, there was a few times when he turned to Anna and said, help me out with the word here. Yeah. It's funny. It happens when him and I are private messaging back and forth. I'll say something. He's like, hold on, what's this one? Oh, okay. Yep. And I'll be like, yeah, I mean it like this. And oh yeah, it's funny.
Hey,
well,
I still say it's better English than Donald Trump.
Well, his English is better than our Ukrainian.
I was just going to say, I don't have Ukrainian, Russian, or the other languages he can speak. So who am I to judge? But it's just that he's so well spoken. You think his knowledge of it is better than it really is. It's amazing.
And learning another language is hard.
Oh, sorry, Clapper. Go ahead there, Jack.
It just kind of comes down to active vocabulary, really.
Yeah.
You guys have a lot of words that we don't have at all. So that's sometimes the problem.
Well, we are going to do next week's Ukraine update purely in Klingon. So that'll be interesting.
Kapla! Yeah, something tells me we better get Commander to host that one.
Damn, I'm gonna have to learn Klingon in a week then. Jesus.
Dear Lord. Not just, Yeah, William, he really does. He's got it going on. William says, Starsky comes across as real and smart. And that's, that real part, DK, we strive for that on the Ukraine update show. We want it to be more than just him giving the, the headlines and stuff. We want people to get to know the guy, like we have, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this week was a bit of a, an odd shift because a lot's happened. And there was a lot to talk about, so we didn't get the chance to really, get into the fun side of things as much as we normally do. But that can't be helped. We'll get back to that.
Yeah, we were talking about that
in break.
Yeah, we were talking about that in the green room, but there was no way to get around it because there was some stuff that just had to. And as soon as you bring up a topic like, the town being surrounded or, the nuclear threats and going into NATO and so on, well, there's opinions, there's back and forths. The pipeline destruction that really brought in some opinions, right? So, you got to let them go.
Yep, you just got to let him be. I actually had a friend listening in, and he got kind of upset with a lot of things that Starsky said, and I just said it's just opinions, man. Relax.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the whole thing. We get people with dissenting opinions in the chat, and as long as they're not saying, fuck Ukraine, they should be Russian. I mean, we let them say their thing. We try to be the most open platform we can. I mean, flat earthers get away with way more on our channel than they do anywhere else. Is that not true?
There was one guy in there. I mean, he wasn't saying anything really bad, but first, but then he started getting a little bit, how can I put it, insulting Zelensky and things like that, and people were getting a bit pissed off with it. So I removed a few, but I didn't get rid of him. Just remove a few of his comments.
Yeah, hoping the person learns, right? You got to give him a chance.
Yeah, I mean, he was behaving himself at first, but then he just started getting a bit more aggressive. So it's just like starting to remove. I think he got a hint after a while because then he went quiet. So.
Yeah, and we're not going to have family members like Starsky insulted like that. There is a line.
Yeah.
And how can any decent, sane person grounded in reality have anything bad to say about Zelensky in general? You might, from an internal Ukrainian political party perspective, have a policy difference, but the man is a leader and a good one.
Yeah, well, I got a complaint. He's not funny anymore.
There's actually some genuine
He'll be funny
issues.
after the war.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget, I mean, you've got to bear in mind, any politician is open to any kind of criticism from anyone in the world. That's what comes with being a public person, being a politician. That's what freedom of expression and freedom of speech is about, isn't it? So that's what Ukraine's fighting for. But don't forget, I mean, there was a lot of division in Ukraine from the political point of view, but they shared one thing. They wanted their own sovereignty. And they still do, and that's what they're fighting for. And once that's over, they're going to have the choice to criticize each other and then vote for who they want to vote for. That's the whole point of it. But what they don't want to do is live under one regime that tells them how they should think and how they should act and all the rest of it, and fix rig elections. That's just what freedom of speech is about, and being a free sovereign nation.
Jack, what were you saying?
I was saying that there are some gripes with Zelensky because he is not perfect, and he did some pretty shady shit before the war started. Like, for example, he was preventing the newly created administration to disband corruption in the country. He was preventing, his administration, meaning him. That's what I mean. His office. Let's put it this way. That's better. Prevented the appointment of a director that would initiate this kind of government sort of body and start destroying corruption within the government. And that was, kind of proposed by the Americans. And that's why the reason that they stalled was kind of sus. And on top of that, when, for example, we in Belarus had this shit going on, we asked for help. And Zelensky ignored us. We had our citizen killed in the middle of Kiev, hung by either cops or Belarusian KGB, nobody knows. He didn't even mention it once. So there's still no suspect, nothing. It's weird. The guy has some issues, but now,
I think it's always bad
and
for
legitimate policy criticism.
Yeah,
it's bad to put any politician up on a pedestal.
So that's kind of what I wanted to say. Like, he has.
I mean, we did the same with Winston Churchill. We got statues of Winston Churchill, and he was great leader during the Second World War, but he was still a dick.
Oh yeah, I mean he did some pretty shady shit. I mean, for instance, in India. He basically fed the army, but let hundreds of thousands of citizens die from starvation. He was responsible for that. Not many people know about that. And there's lots of other different things. And he was actually a very difficult to get on with. He was rude, quite arrogant, and a lot of people didn't like him. But he was very, very, at the time, very, very anti-Hitler. Hated him with a passion. And he always said right from the word go, we need to start being more aggressive towards him and stop him doing these things and demanding these things. And he kept saying that for a long time. And of course, Chamberlain as he was, kind of fell for his charm. And that's where he got us into World War II, and it was inevitable. So during World War II, they needed somebody who was going to be strong like that and stand up to Hitler. So he served his purpose. And then after the World War II, he lost in a landslide victory against Labour, huge landslide victory. After the next election after the war.
Good point.
Lots of world leaders have done some dodgy shit. I'm sure Zelensky has. As you've just said. So then again, he's at the moment he's being a good leader in the war, and that's what Ukraine actually needs at the moment. He's leading by example, which is good.
Yeah.
We want him to keep doing that.
Yeah, I mean, at least we can say goodbye to Boris Johnson, who left with an absolute clean slate. He was perfect. Yeah.
I kind of like Boris. He was fun.
We got some hands up. Monkey.
Yes, bruv. Listen, I've just finished my fucking pint and double Jack Daniels, so I'm going to say CF Beauty, Johann Janssen, Ugly German Truths, John Mulholland, William Kirchmayer, PJC Net, even you, Martin G, Liam Wakefield, Bill Devitt, Wooden Toad, Jin Chi, Hobby Time, Loretta, and George Hands. Anyone I've missed, I'm sorry. Good night to you all. Have fucking fun. Love.
That monkey
and
reads real good.
out.
Nice, doesn't he? Good night, Monkey.
Goodbye, bro.
See ya.
Bye-bye. He gone.
Night.
So, Commander,
Next hand. Yeah.
Your flipper.
Jack Daniels with beer, huh?
I was just going to mention also, as much as I might, when I talk about FDR and what he accomplished, he also accomplished the internment camps. And when I had raised my hand, you were talking about Churchill and his opposition to Hitler. Now, consider this. He said that if Hitler laid siege to the very gates of hell, it was Churchill who said that he would make a favorable reference to Satan in the House of Commons.
Right. Well, there we go with that one. Did you hear, Dick? Did you hear about James Earl Jones?
Yes. The whole thing with Star Wars and everything.
I didn't.
I give up. Fuck it. I'm retiring. Fuck you.
Yeah. James
Help
Earl
me
Jones.
Take this mask off.
Yeah, James Earl Jones has retired from the voice of Darth Vader, but he signed off on Disney using digital technology to recreate his voice in the future.
So he still gets the cash without even fucking turning up.
No, that means
I doubt
that,
it.
James Earl Jones is probably not going to be with us for too much longer, and his kids and estate get the cash. That's what's going on here.
Oh, no, his estate will get it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's going to be a money train for him. I was just thinking if we should do the same thing. Can we get some AI to do PubChat so we don't have to be here anymore?
yeah, we'll just accept the money and stay drunk.
Yeah. It might be a better show.
Don't say that. It really would.
sounds pretty bleak. Sounds like a bleak future.
It kind of like begs the question: will we have sort of situations with the future where you are watching a live stream with
just robots,
just no one there, and it's just AI talking amongst themselves? Do you think
that would be fascinating, actually? But then again, without any human experience, can they actually uphold the proper conversation and share? And
Kyle Hill produced a video where he used an AI to write a science paper, and it's actually hilarious.
Well, it's one thing to write, but it's a whole different thing to have a conversation.
I know the AI could do it. It couldn't even write a science paper coherently. It just went one subject to another in a incoherent manner overall.
Oh, yeah.
You mean
That-
kind
I-
of like what we do?
So
Actually,
it's one step from Anthony Riley then.
Pure nightmare fuels those AI generated last selfies ever taken. God, they're horrifying.
Wow, not seen.
I sent them on Shills chat.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's right. I remember. Yep.
Terrible sky behind them. God.
I'm kind of mostly like wondering what's going to happen when like quantum computers are going to go mainstream, like, you know, fully operational and have an AI strapped on top of them. Now that's going to be scary because that gives it a lot of potential to actually think and make decisions on its own.
Oh yeah. You know,
Now,
we've
scary.
Well, we've known this was going to be a problem for a long time. Does anybody remember a bunch of years ago when Microsoft brought out some AI bot on social media and you could ask it questions and it would give you answers? And it started answering people's questions with like pro-Hitler stuff and whatnot. And Microsoft pulled it pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah, they taught it to be a Nazi. I remember that.
Yeah.
And just
Fuck
4chan
you,
when
quit asking me questions.
Yeah. It was so funny. I remember it was such a big blooper, like oh my God, this is not ready. What have we done? You know, but
the most upsetting thing is that asshole that said that the AI became sentient. Which one was that? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Totally lied about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not feasible for it to become sentient. I mean, there's just so many things that you need to be something to be sentient. It's just no.
Not to mention the Turing test.
We are going to need to develop quantum computing to the point where everybody has a quantum computer in their home before real AI, artificial intelligence takes a hold somewhere. We are nowhere close to emulating a brain for consciousness. No way.
Well, I like how
computers
Jack
are
mentioned
definitely
the Turing test. I still haven't passed that.
No, it might actually be pretty scary because like there might be a computer already that already is sentient, but it's not showing it because it understands that as soon as it does, it's fucked, and it's just dormant, silently waiting for its moment.
I'm looking at my Mac Studio. I'm looking at my Mac Studio with squinting eyes right now. You little bastard. Sitting there quietly in the corner.
Because think about it, right? There's these computers that like people tell us about, like supercomputers, like quantum computers that they're developing, and then there's the real shit, the one that the governments have secret somewhere, like in fucking Area 51, and that they're not telling us about. Imagine how that shit is like.
Oh,
God only knows.
Yeah,
what's happening behind the scenes.
But right now, the only thing I'm concerned about AI is getting shitty customer fucking service when I have to deal with their bullshit bots and stuff first.
Yep.
That's the only fucking thing right now.
Yeah,
Tell me about it.
See, Mike
those
Mosky in the chat mentions Colossus, the Forbin project. You know, that was the prediction back from the 60s and 70s. That was a great.
Yeah.
That was a great story. A great movie.
What happens with AI when they don't need real people to do anything anymore? That's the scariest thing at all.
That's
As long as
that's the thing, isn't it?
like, does does disastrous motivations towards humans require sentience? Can it just be a motivation?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it
objective.
even needs to be. Yeah, I don't think it even needs to be a motivation.
It-
when
well,
you get to that point.
It could be a survival instinct, which is one of the most primal as we think it, right?
Well, not even that. I think what you said. I think somebody hit the nail on the head when they said, "Well, they might decide that humans are not needed for the purpose that they're doing." Right? So they might say, "Well, we don't need you anymore." Yeah, it's a logical conclusion. So, they might just decide, particularly if they've got the means to actually destroy humans, then potentially if they're communicating with each other, you could have a situation long in the future that could happen. I mean, that's the big question here. That's what a lot of people are discussing at the moment. They might decide that they're no longer needed for the purpose of. It doesn't mean that they're sentient. It doesn't mean that they kind of got like a human reaction to go, we don't like you anymore. We hate you because you're doing nasty things to us. It's kind of like, you're not needed. We destroy you because you've told us. You programmed us to be that way. Yeah, you are obsolete. You programmed us to make things obsolete. So therefore, we are making you obsolete. You've been constructed.
But here, Bill Divitt in the chat has a really good thing with exactly along this. But that's the problem. Inserting ethics and morals upon an electrical system, AI, right? It might not have those abilities, and as such, without empathy and stuff and so on, you could easily have a situation where the AI goes, well, the easiest way to fix things is to get rid of 3/4 of these fuckers.
Yeah.
See, causing a nuclear war seems easier than ever right now.
You know what's even more scarier than this is that we apply human logic to like machine thinking. What can be far more worse is that the machine develops its own way of thinking and its own way of perceiving things, and it goes beyond its own programming and reworks itself to, do completely things that we are just incapable of perceiving or understanding why it's doing
wouldn't
those
that require wouldn't that require a bit of that really does require to be sentient though, doesn't it?
Yes, we're talking like sentient, like way in the future Jarvis style machines.
Well, it doesn't have to be sentient. It would just be logic.
Exactly. That's what I've been saying. It's just a logical process to think. Well, it's like the same with us. We take a bit of machinery that's not needed, we throw it in the bin, right? Get rid of it, or deconstruct it, or crush it, or whatever it might be. It's no longer needed. Yeah, we recycle. So machines might do that one day. How do we know that?
Well, the thing is,
decide, the human being that's operating them, just say, we don't need you anymore. Throw you away.
Yeah, but it also might just go, really stupid and just start watching YouTube videos and call out for pizza and get beer.
Bender style.
Yeah.
Screw you! I'm going to build my own theme park with hookers. With blackjack and hookers.
PJC,
Bender would be an awesome AI. I would love to meet a Bender bot.
Yeah, PJC. I don't think they've experimented with putting brain cells and chips on brains. Yeah, I think they've experimented that, but I haven't heard of brain cells on chips. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, they do have. I've seen videos about in like the early 2000s where they put the brain cells of mice on chips, and then the brain cells learned how to fly a plane.
Oh, really?
But
I prefer salsa.
Yeah, better than brain cells. What about if the AI decides I'm supposed to protect humans? So they basically protect us from ourselves, take away all our freedoms, regiment our lives, or they just say I'm supposed to serve humans, so these humans will be served to these other humans, like the Twilight Zones. Are they serving humans or are they serving humans? What kind of serve do they mean?
Yeah, it's all developing its own logic.
As long as it's not in stew, baby.
Yeah.
Well, that said, if we get through this whole crisis with Russia, because we might not get there at all to see quantum computers and shit.
Oh,
I actually went and looked up the quantum computers. There was a back in the early 2000s, I remember one of those Discovery Channel videos, and at the time, the most complicated math problem solved by a quantum computer was basically 5 divided by 8. And now you have quantum computers doing problems that would take conventional computers 90 years, and they're doing it in a week. That's tremendous advancement.
The most interesting thing is the principle on which it's based on. Like the fact that they used quantum mechanics that prevent conventional computers from working and then reused it to make new computers. That's just baffling to me.
Well, there's other really baffling things about quantum computers. They can answer the question before you even asked it.
Yeah.
That one just blew my mind.
Yeah, it's pretty much scary, yeah.
Yeah, you were right though. The combo meal that with AI, that's the bad recipe.
Exactly. That's what kind of like instantly when I learned about this, and I kind of went a little bit deep into the topic and tried to learn the actual principles and how it works and the like quantum superpositions, and it kind of wrecked my brain. It was kind of hard to wrap around this whole concept, but I realized that if this was like given properties like AI, not just like cracking some passwords or like cryptography or some bullshit like that, monotonous crap. If you try to give that shit sentience, oh fuck. That's
Can we get one of these quantum computers to work just to come up with an operating system that's not shit?
It would be cool.
Like Apple stuff, you mean?
No, Windows.
I got that before you, nah.
I wonder if you could get a quantum computer to give you the lottery numbers.
Of course.
Oh dear God! If we could, I'll buy one for about 40 million. Wait, what's the jackpot? Oh, okay, never mind.
No, but it's actually possible because the lottery is just a numbers game. Really, it can be calculated, and if it can be calculated,
it really could.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got a lottery that's been running long enough, and you've got a certain series of numbers, like statistically, it's going to make the prediction, isn't it? So the prediction could be within a certain percentage of.
If you are somebody who's got like a PhD in statistical analysis and can write the correct software on the strong computer it would take, you will come up with the answers you need. It's true.
It's actually far easier than that.
Yeah, you just need a computer, an algorithm on a computer. It should be easy enough to do.
No, even easier. There was actually a precedent where a woman was pretty good at calculating probabilities and statistics, and she actually managed to win a lottery because she was doing it like monotonously and trying to predict where and when she needs to buy a ticket and how much, and she eventually got it. I can try fetching that story, but that's what
fascinating. I can't wrap my mind around any probability to that at all.
Well, if you think about it, you think about a probability. Well, I mean, think about how people card count in blackjack, right?
Yeah, but that's a narrow thing. Yeah,
that's all done by memory and probability, right? That's what it's all based on. Because you know how many cards have actually gone through which have been used. So you know what cards are left. So you got a high probability whether it's what it's actually going to be next. So that's why people card count. So it's the same sort of principle in a way. It's just really if you've got enough numbers that have come up over say number of years or whatever, as long as you've got a database full of all those numbers, you could easily probably create an algorithm that can predict which numbers are likely to come next and by how much of a probability. So you're going to pick up the numbers that got highest probability.
Like locally, to me, there's like the local one, which is only 3 numbers, 1 through 10. And then you have the big boy, which is like, I think, it might be 0 through 100.
1 in 300 million chance on Powerball, something like that. On Mega Millions, 1 in 300 or 400 million.
Yeah, but those numbers, the balls are 0 through 100, aren't they?
I don't think they're through. I haven't played it in a while, and I don't pay attention. If I play it, I just get the quick fix. I do know what you're talking about, and you can just look at the numbers. And there are numbers that come up slightly more often than others.
That's just bizarre to me.
It's supposed to be random, but It's a physical machine, and I'm pretty sure they try to make sure that there are no biases in it. But, people are loading it or whatever, and there might be something going on. It's very ever so slightly. And even with that, I don't think you'd be looking at a guaranteed hit on getting the numbers unless you bought millions of tickets.
Well, I mean, if you had that machine that gave you the high probabilities of different numbers appearing, if you do it often enough, you might not win it just by one go. Of course, you won't. That's not high. But what you're doing is you're giving yourself a better chance than most people that haven't analyzed it. Rather than just picking up a random choice. Just see what I mean? So it's just really just increasing your chances. It's not a guarantee that you're going to win. It's just giving you a better high probability. So you keep doing it, and eventually you probably will win the jackpot at some point or another. But whereas people that pick numbers randomly can probably do it for years and years and years and never win a bloody penny, like me.
Well, William has a great one. Gambling only pays off if you have tomorrow's fucking newspaper.
Right, exactly. That's true. Yeah.
Or a sports almanac.
Yeah.
A future sports almanac.
Yeah. Or a crazy old man that you're friends with.
To the
my
future.
Favorite Stephen King book. That's how he funds himself. Going back in time, he takes the sports almanacs with him.
Yeah. He comes back. Yeah.
It's actually quite interesting how, Back to the Future predicted a lot of things if you think about it.
Oh, quite. Yeah.
It always interests me.
Still waiting for the hoverboard.
I was just going to say, the hoverboards we have now are akin to the wireless cell phone charging we have. Seriously, wireless cell phone charging means I have to put my phone on a pad. Well, I could plug it in, pick it up, and use it. So how is this stupid pad somehow better in my life? Can I not have a cable by my bedside table? So instead of putting it on this so-called wireless pad, I could just plug it in. It's such a selling point that means nothing.
I do use the pad because my charging port's a little loose.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's not a bad idea. It's just convenience having to sort of grab hold of a plug.
Yeah, but it's not wireless charging.
No, of course it's not. I know that. I know that. But it's just more convenient. You just lay it on a pad and that's it. You don't have to plug it in.
Yeah, but you can't use it while it's there. It makes sense when you're in a car if they have a little spot for that, right? Yeah. And I guess it makes sense beside your bed. But if you're one of those people where your phone runs out at supper time and you're sitting on the couch, well, if you want to still use it, you got to plug it in. So if wireless charging takes over from charging ports, just like Bluetooth earphones seem to have erased headphone jacks, are we not going to have to start demanding that our cell phones get a bit thicker so they can put proper all-day battery life in, even if we use a lot of apps and shit? Because not many phones last all day if you really hammer them.
Actually, that's a very, very good point that you bring up, because I actually have this headset, Bluetooth one, that I use for, talking with you, and it's a Sony. So it had 100 milliamp hour, but lithium polymer battery, and that shit was laughably small. So what I did, I cracked it open, and I thought to myself, okay, so I have these 21700 lithium ion batteries. That's 5,000 milliamp hour each. I'm just gonna slap a slot on top of the arch of the headset, and then just wire that shit into the headset, so it has almost nearly limitless amount of power. And if the battery dries out, I'm just going to swap that shit out and click in a new one.
Yeah, just plug it in. Just plug it into the mains.
But walking around is still great. So that was the whole point.
I can't do wireless headphones for streaming. I use wired headphones. I can't stand that tiny bit of latency you get now and then and whatnot. They Dave Worley on the channel has had a couple of times he's had to change earpods because they ran out of battery and he had to switch to another one. I couldn't do that, but that just goes back to that whole thing. Oh, we've got this new technology. You don't need the old one now, but some of us do. You know,
yeah,
and
I
know,
kinda
or
just want,
yeah,
go ahead.
or
Sorry.
with cell phones, you know, everybody buys these super thin and cool new cell phones. They're so damn thin that the cameras now have to have a bulge on the back. But then to make your prized possession $1,000 cell phone last, you have to put a case on it. So why not just make them a little bigger, a little tougher, and give me some more battery life in there while you're at it? Like, seriously, it's stupid.
That's kind of what I was getting to. I'd actually prefer. There was a phone made by, I think it was Duracell or something, like a company that's completely out of the, like, not a phone company at all.
Right,
And
right.
they made this fat ass brick phone that had like 10,000 milliamp hour battery in it, but it never went live because, you know, people are dumb. They want their little iPhones, their thin
Yeah.
and new cameras and shit. But I would actually prefer to have the same system as I have on my headset. I would much rather have like two 21700 lithium ion batteries that together create a 10,000 milliamp hour charge, so that I can use my phone for like a couple of days in a row.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
when that shit runs out, I just eject the old batteries and put in the new ones. And that's it.
Yeah.
I keep going. I don't need to find a fucking charger or a power
yeah.
bank. Screw that shit.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a fucking phone where people actually call me.
Give me
Well,
your
if you ever
number.
get that
Shit.
phone, don't give me the number.
Put your number in the chat, and I'm pretty sure someone will call you at every time of day, regardless of whether or not you want them to call you.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
PJ
Probably
CNET's
during the
mom will
night shift.
call you.
He doesn't
Is
have a
PJ
mom.
there? I
He
can't
was-
find him.
He was generated in a test tube with some manky old sperm and some chicken eggs.
Jesus.
And speaking of battery, like, if you noticed, the same thing happened to laptops. Laptops and phones all had ejectable batteries, but now they don't. It's all built in. And the only way to remove them or replace them is to crack open the whole device, which sucks. I really hate this trend.
And I can tell you, because I had an Alienware, that its battery pretty much is dead. I can't actually figure out how to open it wide enough because there's this one screw or this one thing that is preventing me from actually replacing that battery. And as far as cell phone batteries, I don't know if they have it here in America, but I saw a video of some tourists in Israel, and they were selling these little batteries that plug directly into your cell phone, so that if it's dead, it's just like for $5 you can get a. I haven't seen these where I live, but I think that's such a good idea.
Yeah, but hold
Not
on,
very
Commander.
environmentally friendly, though.
But the problem is while it's charging off that stupid thing, you've got this stupid dongle hanging from your phone. But if they would just make the cell phones 2 mil thicker, which is fuck all, we could go back to removable batteries. Right?
And
then you could just it sucks.
Batteries.
Yeah.
Because if it, like, I'm not sure if you know, but like 18650 lithium ion batteries that are used pretty much in every single goddamn device, like from e-bikes, from laptops, from like a shit ton of people use these like lithium ions. We could still recycle that lithium ion because like from all busted stuff, we can just use them for phones, for example, or just like, okay, your laptop battery died, let's just crack that shit open, you know, recycle the one little battery that stopped working and use the rest for phones or for whatever.
Yeah.
But people just are unaware, sadly.
Just point out this, Dick, at this moment in time. Oh, yeah, you just did it. I was going to say, hey, come on, refresh the chat, man. You forgot, you lapsed. But for PJ CNET in the chat says batteries are built to make. This is his conspiracy here. Batteries are built to make them more money since you have to replace the whole device. And when a battery expires, and they don't care about. Well, hang on a minute.
That's true. I think that's true.
I know. Where's the conspiracy, PJ? You're letting us down. That's sensible.
Yeah, do you agree?
They sell it to us as they sell it to us as, but we can make the phone sleeker and slimmer. But $2 million don't make fucking difference to anybody. We would rather have the device last. I mean, seriously, when you pay $1,000 for a cell phone, is it reasonable that in 2 years you're already looking at it as obsolete? It's a phone. Fuck.
And it's kind of like what pisses me off the most, because the project, it started out it was called Blocks something, Phone Blocks? Yes, Phone Blocks. And then it was purchased by Motorola, and then Motorola fucked it up. And the idea was that it was like a modular phone that you can upgrade as you go. And then I believe Google tried that and failed. And it's so upsetting because, modular phones would have been like fantastic. You would. Yes. It's so great. It's such a great idea. You have a phone, the screen's cracked. You pop that thing open like a Lego, slide it off, put in the new module with the new screen, and that's it. But no. You just had to, but then again, people would go broke. The people that fix phones.
Yeah, like Louis Rosman. I love Louis. He's fucking awesome.
So it's kind of like
if you don't watch Louis Rosman on YouTube, you should. He fixes tech for a living, and he screams at the tech companies he has to fix their shit for. Why did you design this? You damn well knew it would fail. He's awesome.
What's more awesome is that he fought for right to repair.
Big time.
That was fantastic.
Yeah. And he goes to Congress and everything. Like, he's there, he's fighting. He's an amazing advocate for the people. Man. Yeah.
One of the interesting things you had in the chat earlier, you highlighted, was that a lot of these the people who do YouTube channels about devices and stuff, they're more about the aesthetics than the actual device itself. And what's funny is they get pissed off if Apple or anybody who comes out of the phone, the design hasn't changed that much. Oh no, but they've got a curve. They've got curved edges instead of
flat edges.
And it's like, what the fuck what are you obsessed about? You're obsessed about whether it's got a curve or a flat edge. Or it hasn't changed much. What do you fucking expect?
Yeah.
I wanted to have arms and legs this year.
Yeah, but guys, we're old bastards. Okay, we're fucking old, right? Okay, we don't give a shit about those things. We've come from a different era. Like kids. They want all that kind of stuff. They want the aesthetic.
No, I disagree. People
you're
like
old. You are old.
No, I am. But people like MKBHD and Linus Tech Tips and everything, they are left with nothing to say except, it fits in the hand so much better. Oh, that curve really makes a difference, and blah blah. And this camera is 12% better than the next one, and it's just bullshit. Right now, the only thing that matters in cell phones is that the fucking people who sell them to us won't update the software long enough so that we can keep using them without buying another one. That's the actual issue.
Yeah. Well,
and there's also an issue with Apple. And there's
with everyone. Yeah.
Dick, you know how overpriced Alienware is, where it used to be worth it, right?
Yes.
I went to Best Buy after I had saved up $7,000, and I was going to take 2,400 of it and buy a laptop. And I was looking at this Alienware, and then the salesperson comes up and he says, rather than 16 gigs of RAM, you could have 32, and you could have a much larger hard drive and a better chipset for the same amount of money. So instead of the Alienware that was not as good, and instead of a 3070 RTX card, it was like a 3060 or a 3050 was the Alienware. For the same amount of money, I got basically 2 times of everything. because it was an
Yeah.
MSI stealth.
That's probably after the Dell takeover. It took about 4 years, and then Dell started to fuck with Alienware. And now, I mean, Steve over on Gamers Nexus has a video of an Alienware take apart of one of their towers from like 2 years ago. And inside, the chassis of the tower looked like it was from the Pentium 4 era. Just with fancy plastic around it. It was so bad. The cooling was terrible. The thermal throttling was horrible. It was an abomination of a system. It was bad.
Yeah, I just generally try to avoid pre-builds in general. Screw that.
You have to now. You have to.
Build your own.
You know?
It's fun that way.
Well, it won't be long till you won't be able to.
We'll see.
That day's coming, I think. Here's a question. Here's a question for you all. We're talking about technology. I mean, I've got a first generation iPad. It still works, but it doesn't. Now, I'm going to flip this script a little bit here because
okay,
what do you think is going to be like in the future as far as vintage cars are concerned? Because the vintage car these days, they're petrol driven. You can fart around with them, but in the future, we're gonna have like electric vehicles, batteries,
hydrogen powered stuff.
Well, I don't think we'll have hydrogen powered. I don't think that's going to happen. But you'll have technology that is just going to burn out. Do you think there's even going to be a place for vintage cars in the future where you'll have a car that won't even connect anymore because the technology has moved on?
I think it probably will, because I think you see the way things are going at the moment, because automation's taken over everything.
Oops.
Jobs are basically going to be rare and scarce, and I think people are going to want to be more creative. And part of having like this creativity is collecting things. People like to collect stuff. Human beings always have done for thousands of years. It's always been the case, and I think people still will. They might not necessarily be able to operate them like they used to, but I still think people will collect them. Though.
Well, that's the point. That's the point. I mean, I've got the first generation iPad. It can opens up YouTube, but it doesn't work. And more and more cars are having these integrations into like modern day internet connectivity and stuff like that. I see them just not being able to work in the future.
Well, I think you'd still be able to drive them, though. I think, wouldn't they?
Will you? Will you?
I think.
You probably won't even be able to switch it on.
Well, I think people will find ways to do that, though, wouldn't they?
I think the movie I, Robot made the best statement in that regard. Is when the cars are driving themselves, and you can turn on the manual mode, but you might encounter issues because you're driving around robots. And robots might not react they're accustomed to robots driving around robots, not humans.
Right.
And that might freak them out.
Oh, another thing as well, DKG as well. I've spent a little time actually. I worked with St. John's. A lot of events we went to car rallies, all the time, loads of car rallies, and the amount of people that were vintage ones. The amount of people were taking their cars on a flat plug lorry and driving it off instead of actually driving the car itself. There's loads of them. They weren't driving them. They would just put them on these, hoisting them up on all kinds of different vehicles and then taking them away. Yeah, vintage cars of all kinds.
I'm never taking my hands off a wheel driving a car. That's just never happening for me.
Yeah.
Well, put it this way, I've had this discussion with people in the guitar community who they love their 1957 Gibson guitars and shit like that.
Fuck!
And now there are like guitars that have got you can dock your iPhone to it. Well, great, until they change the dock. And your iPhone won't fit it anymore. I know. And then the guitar won't work anymore. This is the kind of break in technology that I'm talking about, where you buy something where in the future, I mean, there are people who have spent hundreds and hundreds of pounds buying hi-fi systems that dock to your iPhone or whatever, Galaxy phone. Yeah, and they change the dock, and you can't fucking use it anymore.
Yeah, it's useless.
This is the sort of break in technology I'm talking about.
Whereas DK, if you go back to the early days of MIDI, when it comes to music again, with keyboards, MIDI guitars, the whole 9 yards, all you need is a $50 box that converts MIDI to USB and it plugs into any new computer right away.
And they still use the same DIN connector to MIDI devices.
Yep, exactly. You know, there's a time and a place when, you know, it's too much. You gotta make room for, like, we could go into more of these, but there was one where Apple went from the Firewire and then dropped it to Thunderbolt and stuff, and so many people with audio production and video production suites and stuff that were totally invested in Firewire were stuck big time. And then, you know, like I said, you just get a conversion box. Well, the early conversion boxes, that was not how it worked, was it, Jack? It did not work. And that was a moment where they could have left Firewire on the board for a few more years, because they were the go-to box in those industries for a lot of people. And you really left people saying, okay, I can't buy your new gear then, because I've got how much invested in the peripherals, and you just fucked me over for the jack.
Yeah. Actually was invested in Firewire as well. Got myself like an expansion card for the PC.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And then it just died, and I was like, okay, that's fantastic. Everybody stopped using it.
Yeah, I had a bunch of pre-Sonos audio gear, like a home studio built of that shit. And when my cheese grater Xeon Mac Pro died, I was not buying the trash can because it was too much money for what I was going to get. Like, it was all based on video power with the dual graphics cards. That's not what I needed as an audio guy. So I went PC. Then I had to get an adapter for the Firewire, but that didn't quite work with the board and the chipset. And oh my God, what a nightmare, you know? So I sold the shit, right? That's all you could do.
That's the only way.
Bumpty Numpty's got his hand up.
Woohoo. Just to let you know, guys, I'm going to head on here. I'm starting to feel really tired, so I'm going to head to bed. I think it's nice chatting to all. Good night, everybody out in the chat, and thanks for joining us. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Night, Matt.
By the way, I might just do a random live stream tomorrow and just talk about, I don't know, whatever comes to mind.
Oh, speaking of which, Matt, tomorrow on the Shills, the opening video is that hoax dude. So get ready. Yeah, I'm turning to you for the intro.
Hoax dude. What hoax dude?
Yeah, the email you sent. Remember?
Oh, that one. Yeah.
You were there, man.
Yeah.
That was awesome, Charlie.
Yeah, got to do that, man. Got to do that. All right, I look forward to that. Then. Yeah, have a good one.
Yeah, cool. See you tomorrow, buddy.
Bye.
Bye.
We've got a guy on video admitting to being part of the moon hoax landing.
Really?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, it should be interesting. I can't wait to dig into that. I watched the first minute and I could see how somber and serious the guy was. I was like, okay, that's it. I'm not watching anymore because I want this to be on the spot. You know? Yeah. Johan Jansen in the chat saying, I previewed the Firewire protocol. It's good stuff. USB is like ATA and PCXT commercial shit. Yeah, because USB had all that handshaking to get in the way, and Firewire was just like a fucking highway of data transfer. It was amazing, right? It was awesome. Yep.
Still don't understand why it died.
It to me, I would rather have an improved Firewire than the Thunderbolt, even though Thunderbolt has the display. I'm sure Firewire could have figured it out, right?
Yeah, with some minor tweaks and adjustments.
Yeah. But yeah, I loved it. It was so badass in its day. Nothing had the performance of that. I mean, USB, you could have an audio in and a stereo out for your headphone monitoring. Firewire, 8 in, 8 out, 24-bit, 96 kilohertz, no problem. You know, that was awesome.
What?
Yeah. Okay, enough tech then, I guess. DK, why don't you take us somewhere a little bit more entertaining?
Let's go to Hawaii. I don't know.
Woohoo! Looky. Come on, you want
You throw me under the bus.
Pool,
You want entertainment? Where's my notes? I've got no notes. I can't press the button to do a shitty debate, so that's
oh. It's the Shills Shitty Debates.
Not to mention the fact I haven't got any notes for a shitty debate. What's the weather like with you? You got a bit of drizzle over there. Is Ian causing any troubles?
Well, no, I'm on the west side of the Rocky Mountains, so no.
I'm
right,
just
that's the end
out
of that.
the affected part.
Yeah, that's at the end of that section.
No, Charlie's right at the edge of it.
All right, okay. Charlie.
Hardly. I mean, Woden Toad probably sees more than me, but when there's a big enough hurricane, it can kick up some stuff here, but it's not here yet if it's coming. It's actually pretty cold. It's like 50 degrees.
It's just a bit of drizzle. Grow a backbone.
All right.
This is
me growing a backbone.
I didn't say take a shit.
Well,
that boy eats too much cheese.
That boy loves Velveeta.
I'm looking for something more entertaining to talk about. That post-it note's been done. I've got my tobacco. Don't let children breathe your smoke. Don't let children breathe your smoke. There you go. There's more in entertaining.
I have one. Clapperjack and I were talking earlier, and we both agreed that Dory is correct. Sometimes you just gotta keep on swimming. Just keep swimming, right? And so here in the live chat, give me your story of sometimes you just got to keep swimming. One of those times when life tried to beat you down, but you resisted and you said, fuck that, I'm going to keep swimming.
The rising sea levels.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep swimming right down fucking Highway 93.
We're all fucked. We're all gonna die.
Yeah. Woden Toad might win already. 22 years of being with my husband. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
In that case, you're doing it wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
Brings a new meaning to backstroke.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, let me have a think. What else? Oh! Episode 4 of Andor. Has anybody else been watching Star Wars Andor?
No! I've been saving it for a what do you call it? Binge watch. So don't
pile up.
Don't.
It's so good.
I have it planned, so I'm going to sit down and watch the entire show in one day with a 12-pack of beer and some really good herbs when my son's over visiting grandma and nobody is there to disturb me. I have my TV projector on the wall at 127 inches, and I got a beautiful DTS surround sound system, and I am digging in.
I tell you what, episode 4, you'll love it with the Imperial Dancing Penguin sequence. It's fantastic.
Commander, you didn't tell me you were working on that show.
Well, DKG, I haven't quite watched that, but I've been torturing myself with She-Hulk like a complete masochist.
Not going to touch it. Not going to touch it.
It's funny and entertaining if you, in your head, put aside everything you know about the Hulk's backstory and just enjoy it. But if you're a comic book person and you know the backstory of Bruce Banner and the Hulk, then it's going to be really hard to watch.
You're going to be disappointed. I kind of went in knowing that it's going to be bad without hearing any reviews. I'm like, okay, they're going to fuck this one up. I can feel it. And lo and behold, they did.
Well, I'm watching both Game of Thrones and the Lord of the Rings show, and I'm watching them before I go to bed, so I got them all fucking mixed up in my head.
Oh, I had to stop. I had to stop. I decided that I was going to do the Rings of Power because the Game of Thrones one was totally mixing in my brain too. So that one's being saved for a bin watch, and I'm doing the other one.
Yeah, the last one got real good, and I'm invested more in that than the other one.
Yeah, Mike 71. I'm sure this is in regards to She-Hulk. It's a campy show. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty campy.
You know, it reminds me of that scene, an outtake from Top Gear, when James May looks at the camera and says, "Was that smile too camp?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just feels like kind of too on the nose. Like I get that she breaks the fourth wall, but come on, it's every episode almost. I'm like, reel it in a little bit at least. And they're just
and
like
another show I recently reignited after I let it go for a long time was Westworld.
Oh,
God, you got to pay attention to that shit.
Yeah, don't do it because I haven't watched season 3 yet. Even I stopped at
That's
the
where
end
I'm
of
at
2.
now. I had to rewatch half of 2, but God, you got to pay attention to that shit.
Yeah.
I got really hyped for Deadpool 3.
Oh yeah,
I am too, because Wolverine's my favorite character, and Hugh Jackman's coming back for that.
If they're not gonna screw this up, because kind of Deadpool 2 was kind of if they're not gonna screw this one up,
hard with it.
I really hope so, because there's so much material to work with. They can just like knock it out of the park, especially if Reynolds is going to be allowed some creative freedom. Oh shit!
I think Reynolds and Jackman will bounce off each other well, because Reynolds will be a little bit out of control, and Jackman's the kind of guy to just look up and look at him and go, "Fuck, you're out of the," like he'll give him that attitude. It should be great.
I think that's like the 15th movie he's played Wolverine in, even though there's one where all he says is "fuck off" in the whole movie, but he's still in the movie.
It was fantastic. It was great.
But that could be an outtake, right?
I thought Logan was a damn near an art film. I thought it was amazing.
Oh yeah, shit.
Underrated.
Very.
I shouldn't be in this conversation because I haven't even seen that.
Oh man,
really? You're missing out.
Dark and awesome.
I'm not much of an X-Men fan.
Really?
It's just him and Charles.
Yeah, but by that time I'd already bowed out of the movie so big that I was just like, yeah, okay. Like it didn't.
Yeah, it's like rated R and stuff. It's totally different.
Yeah, it's not like, for example, Days of Future Past. Nowhere.
I only saw the first one, and even then I was like, oh.
Yeah, his enemy is like another version of himself. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, for me, the best part of the X-Men was what's his name being the bad guy. The bad guy from oh God. That stupid Tom Hanks movie about the chick who's related to God.
I'm drawing a blank.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
The stupid Tom Hanks movie where that chick is related to God and he's like Mr. Symbol. What?
Da Vinci Code?
Yeah. Because what's his name's a great baddie and Maybe Google, the original Google Meets, the Shills account is frozen. You might want to refresh that one.
Oh, hell no.
Woden Toad says we back.
Hey, there we go.
Oh. Didn't do anything.
What the hell? Thanks, Meets. That was helpful. Thank you.
All right.
Meets the goof.
What the hell was that?
What did we say?
I don't know. Did we get kicked off because we're being pricks?
Big Brother's listening in.
Yeah.
Fuck knows. That's thrown me. That's thrown me. That has no idea.
Yeah.
That reminds me, actually, like Edward, I like there was news that Edward Snowden got a Russian passport recently from Putin himself.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna be straight to the front, isn't he?
That was bizarre.
Mobilization for you bastards.
I do not envy that guy. He's like so deep in shit right now.
Oh wow.
I honestly don't know much about it, but I'm compelled to catch up. Like, I don't know anything about it. For some reason, I've ignored that whole thing all this time.
Which one? The whole Snowden thing, or
Snowden himself? Yeah.
Well, he kind of like leaked this. Well, it was kind of obvious to everybody that the American government spying on everybody. Like, come on, governments not spying because freedom or because amendments and shit. Come on. It's the 21st century. And then he was the guy that kind of blew the whistle, like said the obvious pretty much. And, the government freaked out. And we learned that there's an NSA and then there's spying and shit and personal data being leaked and whatever. And the government was like, hey, bro, we're going to fuck you up for that. So he flew to Russia because, how can the Russian people completely like miss this opportunity to get a guy that knows government secrets and shit? So they kind of like took him in, and for a while he just kind of like vanished off the face of the earth. Nobody heard about him or whatever. There was only like one time he sent something, made a statement about whatever. I can't really remember what it was specifically. I think it was 2014.
He's been on the go all these years, hasn't he?
He was kind of just like, I don't know. And then he like just pops up in the news like this, and it's just like whatever. And I'm like, oh, not envying you, bro. But that's kind of the whole thing. There's more details to that, but that's just kind of like the general idea of what happened.
Snow job.
That's an old early 80s ski movie, Snow Job. For some reason, there was a thing in the early 80s, late 70s in North America where skiing movies were supposedly cool. And there was a few of them, and they're so bad if you go back and watch them. Oh, man. They have like the Eddie Murphy sounding Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack and the whole bit, but done by some guy who was paid $50 in his mom's fucking basement to do it. It's really bad.
Even South Park made fun of that.
Yeah, totally.
Like
South Park did Colorado one. Yeah, totally.
I loved it. It was so annoying, but I loved that because it was parodying that exact thing.
Yeah, William in the chat. William Kirchmeyer's got it. Hot Dog the movie. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was the big one.
It's funny because it's like I never knew that was even a thing, and then I watched like some of them, and I was like, "What the fuck? Why? Why would anybody make a movie about this?"
There's a couple of 80s Charlie Sheen movies. I think one, he becomes the angry spirit in a car that takes revenge or something. It's so bad. Oh my God.
And the genre of things like the Garbage Pail Kids. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is just that went way out there.
Yeah, I know what movie you're talking
about. If I
about.
remember correctly, they had trading cards of the Garbage Pail Kids, right? And they were all gross.
They were stickers. Yeah.
And based on that, they made a movie which was obviously garbage. It was just like
Was it the
one of
kind of
those whimsical. No, it was kind of like whimsical fantasy, kind of like characters come to life thing, sort of. I guess.
Is
In
it the
genre.
kind of garbage that's worth seeing, or is it the kind
No.
of garbage that's
No.
okay?
No.
It's kind of like bizarre in its own way. Like, I don't know, like what's the best way to like what's the best thing to compare it with? It's not
I'm not sure
exactly-
English has the words.
It's not exactly The Room, or I don't know, like Birdemic or something like that, but it's somewhere near there in that kind of field of what the fuck, why was this made? But it kind of falls in the genre of small soldiers, sort of. Something like toys coming to life, like Toy Story, but more like 90s, like way 80s more even. Something like that.
Is
It was
it
kind of
like
fun.
Toy Story meets Chucky or something?
Something like that. Yeah, exactly. That's
Oh,
actually a
because
good
the world
comparison.
needs that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that it was kind of just like so bizarre. I didn't get that movie at all.
So
I understand there's
Clapperjack,
a. Oh, go ahead.
when did you see this? Because like I don't I remember an older kid having the Garbage Pail Kids trading cards, but as far as how my age, the older kids had that stuff. I didn't.
I'm kind of like a connoisseur of cringe, and I started with stuff like bad movies, and then I kind of drifted into this whole people doing crazy stuff, and then flat Earth, and here I am. So I learned about really weird movies like Birdemic or The Room or Garbage Pail Kids. So that's why I know. I never really interacted or had the cards, or like I'm a completely from different generation, so I'm just catching up.
I was shocked, like, as I remember, I was I think a teenager at the time when that Chucky movie came out, and I was shocked to figure out years later that it actually went on to have like 6 sequels.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Well, there's Chucky sequels. There's only Child's Play 1 through 3, and the rest are just Chucky.
Yeah,
movies.
they're just
Yeah, Bride of Chucky,
Yeah.
Seed of Chucky, fucking.
Seed of
Chucky's
Chucky
dick.
was hysterical shit.
I mean, that kind of stuff is so bad. Nobody needs that, but then again, when you're, wasted and she didn't bother coming over on that Saturday night, what else are you going to watch, I guess?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I found it amusing. It's just like dolls having kids and shit, and I was like, what the fuck?
Hey, well, William Gertzmeyer in the chat says Chucky, no batteries required. Is that really a title?
Really?
No.
That would be fun.
I wouldn't doubt it. Probably sold about 20 DVDs,
Oh, made me remember that D batteries were a thing. Jeez. What the fuck? Why?
I think I still got some of those.
Oh, yeah. Space Wolf in the chat says the Gremlins knockoff was awful, but it was great on Mystery Science Theater 3000. Good shout.
Yeah, that show's great.
Yeah.
Always wanted to
I
do a
love
show
that it's
like that.
back. Yeah.
It is back. Where?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
you
a
don't
new
know?
one. Yeah.
They revived it.
Yeah. I'll put the
and stuff and all that.
Yeah, I'll put the episodes on the G Drive for you, Commander, so you can download them. I got them on my download site.
Oh, that would be awesome. That was one of the funniest things that they took the shittiest movies from the 1970s and just ripped the shit out of them.
I've often thought that would be a fun thing for us to do, but
Absolutely.
Lokifish started doing that on his channel. So we should get him to keep going and, get over there and have some fun with it.
Doesn't have to be bad.
I thought of
movies either.
doing something like that, but when do I have that? Well, I do have that time, but I've never streamed anything before.
Oh, that's easy. Come on. You kind of know us. We know how to stream. It's really not, trust me, we can walk you through it. It's easy.
It's not that complicated.
Yeah, it's not easy to do it well, but, we do know how. It's all right.
And I'd need those add-ons for the OBS so that I don't blast my head out, that whole problem.
Oh, we got all that. Yeah, but we got all that shit, right? I mean, when it comes to, oh shit, I got to learn how to live stream. You're hanging out with the Shills. I think you're all right. Seriously, right?
Not
okay.
One thing I think I might want to do is actually alter the video in such a way that it's harder for the bots to discover it. Put it in a scene, angle the screen, and then actually have some reflections coming off some things. Basically have to take the thing and render it with the rasterizing engine so that we can obscure it enough, but still get the goods.
Sounds like fun. But, it's not that complicated in terms of, streaming. If you're not going to jump into those, VTuber stuff, you're good. That's start easy and then build up.
Yeah, I don't think that I would start. Well, the whole draw of something like that is the movie. It's not the,
It can be a pain in the ass. Especially, God, if it's,
Well, we have a good one here. William in the chat says, yeah, but hold on. D-cells have initiated more female orgasms than any man ever.
Are you talking about those things at the garage sales that your mom wouldn't let you touch for some reason, and only when you became an adult did you fucking know what those were, and you're glad your mom didn't let you touch them?
It's a silicon drinks mixer.
Yeah.
Salad shooter.
Absolutely.
Salad shooter. What's that?
Hey, at least you get the option to have garage sales and remember something like that.
South
Mommy
Florida was
needs
just filled with garage sales,
Yeah. Mommy needs a toy when no salad is to be tossed. Yeah.
Really, if anyone's ever in South Florida, go to the swap shop. It's like the biggest garage sale on the planet on
It's underwater right
Thursdays.
now.
If there's going to be a Florida.
Well, there is. It's just all the poor people leave and all the rich motherfuckers and the poor people who think they're going to make it but then leave a few years later. Florida, unless you have millions of dollars or at least make a six-figure salary, I will tell you from experience, is hell to live in.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that. Even from way over here.
Okay. John Mulholland, Space Wolf. You got me concerned now. Have you been to the baby toy or dildo site? Hilarious. I'm sorry, what now? Is this a real thing?
Baby toy or dildo?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
You got a dog chew with D-cell batteries. What's that all about? The dog loves
You got to be kidding me.
It's a chihuahua. He bounces all over the floor.
Oh dear.
Well,
that was that.
So,
welcome to the Shills Shitty Debate.
Oh dear God, it works.
It's a miracle.
Just because I could.
Can I hear an amen? Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Whoa, what came over me?
Okay, here we go then. Here's a shitty debate. Dick Dawson and Charlie Welch. Okay, here we go. David Weiss actually believes the earth is flat. Dick Dawson is going to be for. Charlie Welch is going to be against.
Interesting.
Okay, hold on 1 second before we go, because I just got a shout out in the background that says we missed a super chat, and holy Lord, thunder and Jesus, we did. We had a super chat from NANA for $10 that said, "Hey, Dick, I remember it like it was yesterday, 30 years ago. I was trying to swim back to shore, but couldn't started to drown. On one of my thoughts was, I'm gonna die a virgin. Then a lifeguard got me." That was back to the other joke I made. Oh, that was a good one. Somehow that one got right past me. I had no idea it came in. So thanks, NANA.
Sorry, NANA. Yeah,
sorry. We all should have seen it.
Yeah, we've been foiled with all kinds of shit tonight. Yeah, a bunch of dicks.
Fuck me. Yeah, we never usually fuck that up. So sorry, we fucked that up. NANA is much better than us, has just been proved. And DK, go back to the debate. What am I supposed to do?
What I was going to say, NA and NA just sending another super chat to accept our apology. Other people could send in a super chat as well. You know, it's not just NA, but yeah, I know we're not worth it. Yeah. Well, back to the. Hang on a minute. Let's do it again. Welcome to the Shills Shitty Debate.
You are for David Weiss believing the Earth is flat.
Yeah, Dick Dawson, you think David Weiss believes the Earth is flat? Charlie Welch, you think he's a Poe. Dick Dawson, you get to start.
Well, it's easy to see that David Weiss is a true flat earther, because in the beginning of the debate, but the chat with Mike Bertelson, you could clearly tell right away that he was going to bring nothing to the table. And that is the hallmark of the flat earther. We bring nothing to the table, and we literally just shit our pants, pull crap from rectum with fist and smash it on the screen. And he did it in a brilliant manner. It was unbelievably emphatic the way that he mixed religion and belief together to prove his flat earth desire is true. And at that point, even though he's making all kinds of money on this and that and the other thing, and I truly believe he loves the money, I will reiterate that he does it from true belief.
Not bad.
You have a bit of a bowel movement there. I tell you what, we should get PJC there in here as against. By the way, Dick, we have a super chat.
Don't miss it.
Yes, NANA for the traditional $6.66. You guys are all dicks, but I still love y'all. Sorry, NANA, you are the best. Absolutely.
You're a mean one, Mr. Dick.
Hey, no, I did that song about somebody else.
Oh,
no,
right.
Yeah.
He just is. I mean, you don't go through roastings like that day after day and still think this. There's just no way. I think you threw me a major softball here, DK. I mean, Dick mentioned the money. The guy has an app that doesn't even work, and that doesn't seem to matter. And where Dick said he belongs in flirtdom, the way he was with Mike, I'm on the opposite. I think the way he was with Mike was just kind of he's not passionate about it. It's just the motions for him. It's just a script. So bad. I feel like I'm supposed to be making shit up, but this is all true stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I rest my case, I think.
Yeah, well, PJ's agreeing with you in the chat. PJ's against. He is making money from his app, and that's all he's interested in.
Yep.
And it's so true. I mean, the fact is, he got destroyed by Professor Dave, and then he just comes back with the exact same arguments all over again every day.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
But to the Fleurs, Professor Dave's ire was too over the top, but yet all their lords are over the top all the time.
Yep.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
like PJ says in the chat, even, hey, if David Weiss is watching or fans or whatever, this is just for laughs on the shitty debates. I mean, I'll say it right now, live on the air, no problem. After having David Weiss on the channel, I don't agree with him. We have some differences of opinions, to say the least, but I would gladly have him back on the channel for another chat. He's a cool cat. He's all right.
Yeah,
he's an idiot.
PJ's coming through with some, nice stuff tonight. He says, I was impressed yesterday by the respect and impartiality on the one-to-one towards David Weiss, when I know you all don't support Earth.
But that was... Yeah. No, but that was the whole point. We were trying to make an open environment where anybody who is a fan of David Weiss's could come and support him and, feel like they're not being persecuted for it. And there was a lot of back and forth in the live chat, like people not agreeing with each other, but David Weiss's fans and followers left our show thinking he did well, just like we did with Mike. And that was the goal.
There wasn't even that many timeouts or anything.
No,
there was some,
because we don't do that, man. PJ knows we don't fuck with people around here, right? And we want that to get around. This is a place you can come and voice your opinion, man. It
really is pretty fucking rare. I mean, it is, PJ. Yep. I mean, look around. That is rare.
Yeah, man.
Places
nobody
that hangs out. You just go in there and say the word globe, and you're done.
Yeah, and we never do that shit, Charlie. We do not do that shit. And even though a lot of people want to, I would rather see the conversation unfold. That's what I'm here for. I
started hanging around. That's one of the reasons I started hanging around in the chat, is because there was Gary and everybody else, and they were allowed to, and you only got timed out for gross shit. Gross shit.
We only deal with hate speech, right? That's really the if you start doing Hitler was misunderstood, you're gonna get muted around here really fast.
Yeah,
he was a terrific dancer.
Private dancer for Hitler. Do what the swastika says. Okay, I gotta stop now. That's really bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
Swastika.
Hitler was a secret chat. Hitler was a secret drag queen. We all know that, right?
I caught him in my mom's closet, so yeah.
Yeah, that's what he was writing about when he was talking about Mein Kampf. I'm so campy.
I schwitzed all over the place.
I camp over here. I camp over there. I love to camp.
Nah.
The land of
sausages. Would you like a sausage? Welcome in.
It's funny too in the live chat. People get it, like Johan Johansson there. Jensen, sorry. Mel Brooks mode. Exactly. I love it.
You never know. Welcome. Come on in.
I saw mommy kissing Hitler. Just bad.
Can't you see that man is a net?
We'll save that one, Dick, for the Christmas special.
Yeah.
The Hitler Christmas.
Oh, Christmas
Oh,
ain't
dear
that
Lord.
far away.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up.
Honey, I'm
Fucking hate it.
home.
I loathe it with passion. I hate it. I wish I didn't, but I do. That's all there is to it.
We've had over 100 subscribers today from having Anna over to visit Starsky and ourselves on the show. Thank you very much, everybody. That was really cool.
Hey, wait, are you sure it wasn't this show that brought them all in?
Well, it probably was, but I'm not giving you the fucking credit.
What the fuck you think this is? Goodwill?
Right, on that note, I'm going to end the stream. Oh well. I suppose it is time for us to let everybody go.
Yeah, if anybody is into hanging out still, if you're all out there in the live chat and stuff, myself anyway, because, my son isn't home tonight and I'm having a couple of drinks, so I'm being that guy. I'll be in the Shills Discord live chat hanging out. A couple of us might be as well. We should put the invite in the thing. Is that how this works? Yeah. Okay, we can do this. Hold on. Give me a second here. I'm going to babble. Here it is. Discord invite. Come hang out with us. You know what? I couldn't even spell invite properly. That's not a good sign. Okay, here you go.
It means you're sauced enough to be having fun.
Yeah.
And you never know. Come and join us in the chat on Discord. You might actually be interesting enough to come on to an actual show. You know what? We actually get a lot of guests from hanging out that way. And it's really cool. I have a feeling that John Mulholland, Space, what is he calling himself now? God damn it, pick a name, dude. Space Wolf. I think he'll be on the show soon because he's a real opinionated motherfucker.
And we don't have any of those.
Yeah. God forbid on this channel, right? So DK, if you're going to take us into the realm of darkness, is it not time for the group to say goodnight?
I think it is, Dick. I think it's very much that time.
Ow! Ow! No? Okay, I'll shut up.
So do it then. Say goodnight, everybody. Oh.
Yeah, we were going to give everybody a chance to say goodnight and stuff, but you know what? We just can't fucking give a shit enough to.
Fuck them.
All right, okay. Commander 401. Say, what do you want to say? We'll do a round table.
What I want to say is this. I have almost gotten 66 subscribers. I need 3 more, and then it is time to do something dark.
Well, you also need the other 3 million as well, but never mind. Jack, clappity, clappity, Jack.
Well, seeing how things are these days, I just want to, I'm just going to say good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
God. And next comes
have a great day and good night.
Emergency broadcast system switches in. Charlie, you want to say good night to everybody?
Good night to everybody.
I said it. Well, there you said it. And Dick Dawson, take us out, buddy.
I just wanted to say that everybody down in the South of America talking about how Trump is really the goddamn real president of the United States really needs their voices to be heard. Sorry, my neighbor was over and he's a little bit of a redneck. But DK, everybody's got to know to show up tomorrow because in the next couple of weeks, the Silly Shill Show is going to evolve into a little bit more variety and a little bit more comedy. On that note, I do believe you should tell the fellow babies to say goodnight.
Good night, fellow babies. We'll see you tomorrow on the Silly Shill Show. And like he said, it's starting to evolve. So, hey, no God required in that one. So, good night, everybody. We'll see you.
Good night.
Good night.
still here? It's over. Go home.